So CHTV is 21 years old, and to celebrate, our team look back to favourite clips in over 500 programmes. But first, this is how the service was launched back in October 1993.
Lewis wants television to broadcast more good news to cheer up the viewers, so he'd be strongly in favour of a new TV service which went on air for the first time in Essex today. Colchester Hospital TV aims to act as a tonic for patients in the town's hospital.
Good afternoon and welcome to the very first broadcast of Colchester's new hospital television service. This is the 6th such service in the country, and we're very pleased to bring programmes to patients in Colchester hospitals.
Andy Patrick introducing the very first CHTV broadcast to its viewers today. Behind the scenes, the celebrity launch. BBC Songs of Praise presenter Pam Rhodes did the honours.
The moment when Colchester Hospital Television goes on air.
Armed with 3 cameras and super VHS equipment, a dedicated band of volunteers aim to bridge the gap between those in the cocoon of hospital and the familiar outside world they've temporarily left behind. 2 hours of programmes, 3 afternoons a week.
Well, in 8 months, I'm very proud of CHTV as it is today. £10,000 worth of equipment, lots of work by a small nucleus of people to put the service on the air. It's been long hours, hard work, but it's all been worth it.
Most of CHTV's set-up costs have come from the League of Hospital Friends, plus a donation from the Colchester Catalyst charity. After 30 years, hospital radio, it seems, can't meet all the patients' needs.
On its own, it's no longer enough. No, now we need the television as well, for the simple reason that people in long-stay wards need to be able to see and feel and get the atmosphere of the places from which they'd originally come. We tend to forget that once you come into a place like this, you are cut off from the real world.
Time does drag rather in hospital, so if you've got this to, I think it's rather good.
People in hospital haven't got a lot of concentration, and they don't really need to have to concentrate too hard on things. If it's a simple, easy, factual thing, I think that would be a good idea.
Anything to cheer you up. Good God, there's nothing worse than being in the hospital, is there? Anything to make you smile. Anything to make you smile.
Yeah, good luck to all at CHTV and indeed all its viewers.
I asked cameraman, director and producer Chris Dowsett about the early days of football on CHTV.
Yeah, we had feeds from professional people that were filming the television match, the games for television. We had a feed from them, and we were able to put out the whole game. In those days, there wasn't the other companies that are doing what they're now doing, so it was easy. Life was so much easier in those days, Paul. Without any shadow of a doubt, you could get away with doing far more in the old days. I know it's me sounding really corny and old, but it was so much easier in those days.
But part of your remission has been archiving, isn't it, Chris? It's been important in your heart that we archive so much.
Yeah, I think there is so much nowadays that has been lost. And it is vitally important, in my view, that more of what is done is kept. Be it paper, be it anything, you shouldn't chuck it away. And I think the memories of people nowadays, both you and myself, going back a number of years in radio times, we would go out and we would do what was called then the Colchester Borough Sound Archives, and that it sort of extended and went to the county, and it was brilliant, but it was memories that were put down on tape that are going to be there forever. Sadly, I believe that so much nowadays is going to be lost. People going around with their cameras or their cell phones. In fact, they're not called cell phones anymore, are they? They're going around with their phones and they're taking pictures of everything. How long do they keep it for? They don't, I don't believe. And it's all lost, and it will be lost. And what historians will do in the future, I'm not sure. because there will be nothing there for them to find and put it all down with.
Well, with CHTV, you were treasurer, director, cameraman, programme organiser. Looking back over the roller coaster years of 21 years, what's been your highlight?
That is an awful question, really, and I knew you were going to ask me this question, and I can't honestly believe that there is a highlight. I know they're stupid. I'm going to say something that is really silly. The highlight should have been something that I've not done, and that is the feeling that I've got for wanting to do something on the First World War. Never have we got round and finished that. So that's a programme that I've not done. There's been loads of other things that you can say was great. Some of it sad, some of it really, really good. I'm sure you're thinking of North Station and the bridge over a Christmas period. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but seems years and years ago now, where I went down there and filmed it over the Christmas period, them taking the old bridge out and putting the new one in. Yeah, there's lots of different things.
Well, on behalf of CHTV, very many thanks for everything you've done, Chris. It's been a privilege and a pleasure, and we look forward to Colchester History Channel, where we'll be uploading all of our memories.
Thanks, Paul.
Andrew Pearson is cameraman, director, producer, but is also in charge of all our graphics. Andrew, you've been involved with broadcasting all because of your day trip to Moscow.
Indeed, yes. I visited Moscow for a day, flying out by aeroplane from Gatwick out to Moscow, and involved with hospital radio from that. Did an interview, liked what I did there, and joined it. I was very much on the production side there, other side of the microphone, and that's how I've moved on into television, very much behind the camera.
Indeed so. You've been our graphics man. You've been looking after all the graphics and all the idents, the ads, the commercials, all the sorts of things we've done. In the early days, it was sort of basic computer stuff, was it?
Yeah, there wasn't very much integration in those days, so it was very much having to take a snapshot of a screen and then broadcasting that out from there. It's now far more integrated. Computers and videos have merged together, and we can do far more with it. We can actually have animations and moving things and things that will fly around the screen and that sort of thing. It's all very exciting stuff.
It takes a long time to get these things done, though, doesn't it? This is the time problem that we all have.
Oh, indeed, yes. Yeah, it can take several hours just to get a single title looking right. It's, getting the colours right, the balance right, and then working out how it's going to look on the screen and how it integrates the programme. Does it present the right image for the programme and that kind of thing? So it's quite involved. I really enjoy doing it.
On the screen, it's your work, isn't it? 21 years of local live television. How did you come up with that idea?
It's just playing around. It's trying to get something that's quite eye-catching. It looks a bit metallic, looks a bit bright, colourful. So trying to get something that represents where we are today with hospital television, and I think perhaps it does, I hope.
Well, on behalf of CHTV, many thanks, Andrew, for the hours and hours that you put in 21 years. Have you got a favourite clip that we can put out?
It's a very hard choice, Paul, because we've had so much fun and done so many things over the last 21 years. I think perhaps it's going back to, we filmed a blacksmith at one of the Tays, Great Tay, and I particularly remember he was a very colourful character, and he really sort of emphasises and shows what CHTV can do, because it was looking at the trade, looking at the personality with a local aspect. And I particularly remember how he made sparks from his anvil by hitting a piece of red hot metal, and the sparks that flew out, and we had great fun with that, filming it, and then it's the post-production afterwards, bring it all together, and we actually used that as part of our title sequence, slowing it down, and it worked really well visually.
Okay, the fire is important here.
Yes, that's right.
The forge.
Yeah.
What other kit have you got here? What other tools of the trade do you use?
Well, I mean, of course we use welders, modern electric welders, which assist us now. I mean, nowadays you don't fire weld anymore. I mean, that's a thing of the past, isn't it? I mean, electric welding.
Millie Haynes is production assistant and programme distributor. I asked her about the early days of recording outside broadcasts at the Mercury Theatre.
We had a clock which all the cameras had to be synced with to make sure that all the cameras were in time with the clock.
And then we had to do lots of changes, didn't we, in the intervals?
Yes, tapes.
And then it moved on to memory sticks. But part of your duties has been distribution. Has that been quite a complicated procedure, distributing tapes and then DVDs? What did you do?
Well, it wasn't difficult, just getting the cassettes first, the videos, and putting in a envelope and labelling them up. But I enjoy doing it.
And now DVDs?
Yes, they're much easier because they fit into the bags quicker.
From all the clips then that we've done over the years, shall we look at a Mercury Theatre panto?
Yes, we can do.
On behalf of CHTV, thank you for all the work that you've done over 21 years.
It's been my pleasure.
Chris Rushton is a cameraman, director and producer, and his Take a Break programme aired some 15 years back. Chris, what was this programme all about?
The video was produced for my final major exam for college. Living in Colchester for sort of 20 years, I looked at producing a video advert sort of thing for Colchester. It was a bit of history and a bit of things to do. It was a 5-minute video, and which went down really well at college.
Did it take long to film that? Because you were all over town, weren't you?
We were all over the place. We had to gauge with the weather. It took about a couple of weeks to film on and off in different locations throughout the town. We had the high street, the park, and then I did some internal shots in the George Hotel and down at Roller World. When I first started, we were using VHS tapes, and when you look back at the quality of the VHS tapes, you can't believe that that's what you used to look at. They're all pixelated and the colours bleed into one another. And with the technology and speed of the way you can get video and things produced now, it's unbelievable. And that's only 15, 20 years ago. It really has changed dramatically, and no doubt it will change again very soon.
Well, on behalf of CHTV, many, many thanks for all you've done for the service. And now we're going to look at your particular choice of clip, which is, of course, Take a Break.
Yes, it's. I'm really pleased with it still. I look back at it, but when you look at it now, when it was filmed, you can see changes in Colchester now. It's changed since then.